Hello everybody, Accureye here, and welcome back to another Apex Legends video. And in today's video, I thought we'd and a little bit of a intro to my thoughts on and kind of my first impressions on Octave, who is the newest character legend as of course Apex Legends. So, sorry about the little mess up there, but yeah. Octave is one of the newest characters in Apex Legends, and at least this is somewhat of my first impressions, my first thoughts, my, if you will, first, little bit of a interesting, consideration for Mr. Octave. And, at the end of the day, Octave, at least to me, is a interesting character. His passive, of course, is that he can, he can basically end up, self-healing himself. Now, the heal is not extremely heavy. It's not like, to the point where you may see a substantial difference with your, you may see or you will see a substantial difference with your, with your health bar. Obviously, he doesn't have to rely on medkits like syringes or medkits themselves, mostly he is, and he does have that passive heal. But it does mean that but of course, his passive heal is not a reliable passive heal, in my opinion. It is just it is what it is. It's a passive heal. So, I mean, it's a small heal at best, and it's not bad, but it definitely is something that, at least to me, you wouldn't be able to rely on it. I think it's just more like, you can use it, but the chances of you actually needing to rely or, being able to use it as a be-all, end-all for playing is not likely. I mean, obviously, you're not going to, be able to be-all, end-all it. That passive heal is just what it is. It's very, very light. It's very, very small. But in quick situations, of course, it is good for what it is. Now, what about Octave's main ability? Well, his main ability, of course, is of course a stim pack. Now, the stim pack is, as you would expect, a stim pack. It increases his speed by almost 2 or 3 times, I would guess. And I would guess it's about 2 or 3 times. And, that speed increase can be the difference maker to you gaining away, you closing the distance, or even you just being able to surprise revive all your teammates if the chips are down, for say. But, I mean, again, it is what it is. To me, it seems like Octave has a very small, if you will, a very small hitbox. And now, this does mean that you can get away from shots really quickly, and you can kind of plan surprise assassinations or attacks, if you will. And, given that your team is what it is, it's good at, it's one of the best teams you'll see. There's a good chance that you will be able to, in general, utilize Octave to create multiple winning situations. It's not a guaranteed win, but, I mean, consider how fast that he moves, which is basically Bangalore speed, without getting hit. And I say Bangalore speed without getting hit. It does mean that you are able to, create winning situations and even super aggressive situations. His ultimate, on the other hand, is, of course, his jump pad. And the jump pad allows you a nice jump boost. unlike Pathfinder, who has to set up a zip line and then you can kind of just zip around with it, the jump pad to me seems to be very, very useful. I think it's a very, very good included thing. Now, what do I think about Season 1 in general? Because, let's face it, these are just my first impressions. I will try to go over, Octave when I have a chance to fully explore and watch him, or at least fully experience him over time. But, I mean, what do I think of the Season 1 Battle Pass? Is it worthwhile? Did they do an okay job with keeping me, after like 70 plus hours, interested in Apex Legends? Honestly, my thought about the Season 1 pass is that, yeah, it's probably worthwhile. You'll probably get a lot of, custom skins, a lot of money, a lot of extras. And for a person who is all about, wanting to collect stuff, wanting to make this maybe their main game in a sense, maybe this Season 1 pass is completely worthwhile. But, I mean, to me, I don't know if the Season 1 pass was able to keep me interested. Like, as it stands, the Season 1 pass just is what it is. It has a lot of extra new skins. It has some stuff that's, very, very good. But at the same time, it's just what it is. I mean, I can't see myself utilizing the season pass, utilizing the way that it's meant to be. Now, this doesn't mean that's bad. I don't think it's bad. I think it still can be redeemable, but I feel that the Season 1 pass should have made an opportunity to add a two new legends, like one now and then one near the end of the season or midway through the season. I think that honestly, as a season pass could have added a new map. New season, new map, like Fortnite does, or a new addition to the map, like Fortnite does, and to me, that would make the game a lot more interesting. It would make the game a bit more of a wow. That's that's cool. That switches up. That keeps me busy. That keeps me, with something to do. Now, another thing that they could have done with the Season 1 edition is, of course, solo mode. Now, I mean, obviously, Apex Legends wanted to make it to where it focused on teamwork, but here's the thing. The teamwork factor is not as great as people think. It will, make people, tired of the game eventually. And, I mean, Apex Legends needs to introduce something new, something that's going to keep people interested. Because if it doesn't introduce something that keeps people interested, to me, I feel that I've done everything still. I'm just like, okay, well, I got a new character. Fun. He's good for me to do character breakdowns, figure out if he's really worthwhile, if he's going to be played in tournaments and stuff. But outside of that, it's like, I've already done everything. Why am I still playing the game? Why does the game still, still entertain people to a degree? Now, I'm not saying the game is bad. The game is pretty good for what it is. But as Dr. Disrespect had said during one of his streams recently, the game is fun to play. It's so phenomenal to play. And it's such a great game to play. But when you try to watch it, it's like, well, where's the excitement? Why am I watching this game when I could just kind of go out and play it? Because it's so much more phenomenal to play the game than to actually watch the game. So, I mean, much like Overwatch, it has the hype, and they made it such a phenomenal game to play. But I don't know if it really has the excitement or an esports community that wants to, like a group of devoted people who want to just watch the game. It's like, it's a free game. Unlike Overwatch, it's a free game. Anyone can get into it. So why don't they? But, I mean, that's just my thought. Those are just my thoughts. Those are just what I've been kind of thinking. Anyways, my personal suggestion would be to hopefully add a solo mode. Make it 1 versus 60, or I guess in some cases 1 versus 59. Add new weapons. Add maybe another legend during the season. That way it doesn't become boring. That way it doesn't become stale for players. Because again, Octane will only be entertaining for so many people for so long. Eventually, Octane is going to either get phased out, or so many people are going to be fighting for Octane that every other character is just not going to be used. So, I mean, you gotta add something new. Something that's just, makes the game different. Make it harder to find some of the best weapons, maybe. I mean, potentially make it to where, it's harder to find something like the Peacekeeper. It's harder to find something like the Hemlock. It's harder to find something like the Wingman. I'm not saying that that's the path or the route that you should go, but, I mean, Apex Legends, to me, needs something to make it different, to make it, just that much more challenging, just like that much more of a crap. It has to change up a little bit. It has to have something to flip it around, to give it some new excitement, some new energy, I guess you could say. And, I mean, those are just my thoughts. That's just what I've been thinking about when it comes to the game itself, when it comes to doing things. It's just like, it has to have something that really can just change up the game. Like, for instance, before Season 1 dropped, obviously there was the Havoc that dropped. And obviously Havoc was a new weapon. It brought some excitement to the game. And it was something that nobody else had ever seen, and everyone was kind of like trying it out, hoping that would be the next best weapon. It's obviously an okay weapon, but still pretty terrible. Like, compared to most weapons in the game, it's still pretty darn terrible. It's still pretty, pretty bad, overall. But, again, that's just my thought. Those are just my, my personal opinion. This is just my personal opinion and whatnot, to really, consider, whatever it is. Like, as it is, you want to consider things that, that are going to be in there. Like I've said before, it has to have something that can, change up the title, change up the gameplay. And I mean, it doesn't always have to be just like a new character. It can be something as simple as, like, for instance, changing up the map a little. Making it harder to find good weapons. I mean, again, remember that people are finding good weapons left and right. People who have played the game as long as I have, or even maybe a little bit shorter than me, are starting to find out, like, oh, well, here are where the good weapons are. Let's just go there. So, it has to be changed up just to make, meet something more interesting. But, I mean, with that being said, thank you everybody for joining me today on this video. Thank you for watching this video. These are just my first thoughts and impressions on Octane. I will try to go over a character breakdown and a little bit more about him in the future. And, I mean, this is just also kind of a small update on where I feel Apex Legends has kind of gone up to at this point. But with that being said, thank you everybody for joining me today on this video.